Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call this meeting to order at 4 p.m. Adoption of the agenda.
That West Elgin Committee of the Whole hereby adopts the agenda for April 9th, 2026 as presented.
A mover, please. Deputy Mayor Tellier, seconded. Councillor Denning, all in favour? That's carried. Disclosure of any pecuniary interest and general nature thereof. Seeing none. Adoption of the minutes.
That West Elgin Committee of the Whole hereby adopts the minutes of March 12th, 2026 as presented.
Mover, please. Deputy Mayor Tellier, seconded. Councillor Sousa, all in favour? That's carried. Thank you. Business arising from the minutes? Seeing none. We go to 6, which is staff reports. Infrastructure and development. Garbage collection contract 2026. Dave?
Thank you.
It's over to you.
Thank you. I'm bringing this report to the Committee of the Whole to discuss an RFP we're going to put out for this summer. As our waste contract expires on August 1st, 2026. We're going to talk about the present base level services, the introduction of some provisional options, and some service components in this contract. And I'm looking for your feedback to this RFP. The current situation is the municipality provides waste collection for the urban areas of Rodney and West Lorne and the rural routes across the municipality. We have recently switched over to a producer responsibility for our recycling. So we have a gap in that some commercial business and non-eligible properties are not getting picked up anymore. Result, there's a gap in services, and I'm looking to explore options in this contract as in the provisional section. This contract will be I'm looking to do 7 years plus one, so up to 9 years total, as it provides long-term stability and means like flexibility for council. Our base services are weekly collection in urban areas and in the rural areas. We have defined routes, schedules, and standards. Additional services that we do currently are leaf and yard waste collection, which is seasonal, and we have defined service periods. Currently, we do not do bulk item collection, which could be scheduled on call pickups, or we could have more frequent guidelines for that as well. Some additional provisional items we could look into is the toter bin collection system for urban areas. This could be have potential for improved efficiency and consistency within the urban areas, and adding in a commercial recycling collection to address that service gap that I spoke about earlier. And this will support local businesses. There is going to be a cost that I'll talk about later on that as well. Our current service level is weekly, which with a 3-bag limit. We could have potential increases of allowing more bags or adding a second weekly pickup. We could also have potential reductions of moving to a bi-weekly pickup for discussion. There will always be financial considerations. The RFP will help us determine current market pricing in this area, in which we can evaluate costs, service quality, contractor capability, and long-term value. The proponents that submit these RFPs will have to provide their fleet and equipment details, their company experience and references, and their operational approach. And then we can later review the financing that they provide or the financial indicators that they're going to go along with, and operational service costs. And we can look at the different funding approaches, whether it be like it is currently on the tax levy, or if we need to do any additional provisional items, we can add in an area rated model for them. Some key questions I have for council is, does council wish to proceed with issuing the RFP based on the proposed structure on the base service levels? Does council support including provisional items for the RFP? And for example, toter bin collection, commercial recycling collection, and bulk pickup items. Does council wish to proceed with the current service level or to increase or decrease that? The next steps after this discussion, we're going to incorporate the comments into my RFP and issue the RFP. Staff will evaluate the submissions and bring it to council for award recommendations with final pricings and the options that you will be able to choose between in the provisional items. Does anybody have any questions?
The 9-year contract that you suggest, that's mainly because if they go along with some of your suggestions, they'll have to change their transportation, won't they?
Generally, we could open it up to different contractors as well to see when they can provide that timing. And then they'll provide the vehicles in their submission, their age of it and the capabilities of it.
And would the contract still be 9 years if it is as is?
We could change it to any amount of years. This is just the suggestion. So right now, when to do a contract like this, it's a big pull from our resources. So we want to be able to set it at 7, and then if there's still good service after 7 years, we can add the 1 year and then the 1 year after that as well, as we finalize our contract. So we could make it 3 years, we could make it 5 years, along with it under the same principle, but there's just different options that I want to be able to talk about and see what council's comfortable with.
So if you did the rural, instead of doing it weekly, you did it 2 weekly, and then you collect the recyclables at the same time.
The recyclables would be under, so there's a clear defined shift. So
I realize it won't go in the same one.
no, it's for the recycles, the province under the province does all the pickup for recycling now. The only recycling they don't pick up is the small businesses that is currently getting missed. So
Okay.
that's where I'd be looking to add that provisional item in there to see how much it's going to cost council or the citizens, whether we area rate it or put it on the levy, to understand what the financial impact is to add those small areas in. But in the rural areas, the recycling will always continue on their weekly pickup as it is. Garbage is the only thing that we'll be responsible for in that area.
Okay, thank you. Further questions from council? Councillor Denny.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and through the chair. Dave, thanks for the presentation. I notice in a lot of the other municipalities that I work in that most municipalities seem to have gone to the bin system. Would that put us in sort of, if we didn't do that, would that put us in maybe a bit of a situation where we wouldn't have as many vendors possibly? Like, do a lot of these services now require the municipality that they're serving to have bins?
Through your mayor, I haven't researched that to see if it's a requirement for the suppliers, but if there is an option that they can always price it based on that option and take and look at their pricing schedule to always include that number. So I'd have to look into to see that as I further move along with this RFP. That's a great call out. So I'll see if that's going to be something that we need to add to the RFP, whether it's conditional or that. So, yeah.
Further questions from council, if any? Seeing none, Deputy Mayor Tellier, please.
Thank you, through the chair. I'm just a little confused about the waste bin sizes, if that did happen. So there'd be 2 different sizes within the municipality?
We could,
There's just 2 options.
yeah, there's generally two options that I'd like to be able to provide. I'll give this example. My grandma used to get a large 96 toter, and she couldn't physically bring it to the
Right,
road.
that's what I'm thinking.
So if we let them request which one they want, there's a smaller bin that they could use as well.
Okay,
So that's why I kind of put 2 options in there so that residents could consider different bin sizes. So because they're approximately the same price, because it's just building it is the problem. It's not the actual construction. Like there's not a big price jump that I've seen that is going to really reflect that. So.
and a second question, if I may.
Yeah.
Second question to the chair is, I notice, it's not like I'm doing a garbage audit, but you know, you notice things when you're on council in different positions. Nobody seems to have 3 garbage bags or bins out right now. If we didn't go with the bin system, could we examine, I guess anything we can do, examine maybe a 2-bag with 3 limited different time? It just seems that, at least where I'm driving around, that no one seems to have the 3 out.
Yes, I actually can address this too, because I want to, when we build the pricing model, so we're gonna have the pickup itself of the truck driving around and picking it up is gonna be one component. And the other is gonna be the weight that the truck takes and gets dropped off at the landfill. So whether you put 1, 2, or 3 bags out, that price will be all indicated in the same. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the last 3 years of how much garbage we've taken to the landfill, and that's gonna be my base number, and we can base off that. So might be more or less depending on what our base garbage load is. But as you move forward, you're paying for the amount of waste we generate. And then if it's 1, 2, or 3 bags, we'll be able to be really close on that because it'll be based on historic numbers.
Great, thank you so much, and thank you for the information.
Okay, councillor Sousa.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I just would like us to be very cautious here because if we reduce the bags, that means more garbage going to our landfill. If somebody exceeds the 2-bag, say I have 4 bags that week, I'm gonna take those 2 extra bags to our landfill and dump it there. Right now, where's our garbage going? It's going to Green Line Southwold.
Yeah.
That would be the proper way, would be to increase the garbage bags. Let's get people shifting our garbage that way, not that way. Does that not make sense? I mean, I'm a little bit concerned about that. Thank you.
Like I kind of stated with Teresa, the amount of weight that we bring is our price point right now for that. As a 3-bag limit, it's a guideline so that we can follow that, because it's really hard to be able to count how many bags you have out at the door. And when you work with a contractor, if the contractor is picking up 3 bags, but they're only supposed to pick up 2, that also may be really hard to be a judge on, essentially, because when they're out there, they may do it, they may not, but where it's all based on the weight. So that's where we have to be really careful in direction when we give this out. Is this the right approach?
Thank you, Dave.
Okay, thank you. Seeing none, could I have the recommendation for that one, please?
The recommendation is that West Elgin Committee of the Whole hereby receives the Garbage Collection Contract 2026 report from D. Sharon, Manager of Infrastructure and Development, and that the committee reviews and provides feedback on the proposed base contract service levels to be included within the request for proposal, RFP, for municipal waste collection services, and that the committee reviews and provides feedback on the inclusion of provisional items within the RFP for urban and commercial recycling collection services, which will be brought forward for council consideration at the time of contract award.
Okay, could I have a mover on that one? Councillor Denning, seconded. Deputy Mayor Tellier, all in favour? That's carried. 6.1.2, verbal discussion, spring cleanup, waste collection.
Thank you. This is an update to discuss with council our current system where we have a spring collection day that happens every May. I just want to confirm with council how to move forward with that program. Last year, we offered a 3-day trash disposal fee in May, and this is a regular opportunity for the community to clean up at one time. And the potential benefits for this day is encourages residents to clean up their properties, dispose of accumulated waste, supports community beautification overall property standards, may help reduce illegal dumping or roadside litter, provides a positive and visible service level enhancement to the residents. Potential challenges that we have with this, we have expected high volume and strong participation from residents in the past on this in this during these free days. This increases the pressure on our landfill and potentially impacts our long-term life cycle of the landfill. The operational impacts also include staffing and traffic management at the site and including wait times. The risk of concentration usage could also contribute in the depletion or early closure of for the planning needs of the waste site. Some discussion points I would like council to have on this is, do we support this still? The 3 annual days that are going on? Should we put controls or limits on this as we move forward? And are any additional resources required to safely manage these volume recourses? So we have a lot of staff out on site those days, and I'm really concerned about all the people moving through there and with all the garbage that we have. And how does this align with the municipality's long-term strategy in the landfill capacity remaining? And if anybody has any questions, comments, I'm really interested in hearing. So,
Deputy Mayor Tellier.
Thank you, through the chair. Thank you for bringing this also. I've just been telling people about the landfill being open, their hours, that there's fees included, and they can go at any time that they like on the 3 current days when people have been asking about spring collection day this year. I am worried about, I don't think also people have realized the lifespan of our local landfill and that will not be there in the future. So around anything we do, education, I think would be great to let people know that whatever we're doing and deciding for 2026 and there forward, this is why. It's only got X amount of years, it's have an impact, everything on it. I've been a big fan, as you know, in the past of spring collection day, just because I don't like driving down the road, nor does anybody, and seeing, you know, a couch on Kerr, it's usually be Kerr, a couch on Kerr, a couch on Blacks or wherever, people disposing of things. So education around it and maybe just encouraging the other days, our current days that were open, maybe still having those fees in place, but maybe extending the time. I'm hearing a lot of people saying in the spring cleanup, sure, I'd go, yes, I'd pay for $45 to get rid of my fridge or whatever it is that they're trying to get rid of that it has a fee attached to it. But maybe extending a couple of those days and seeing what the impact for staff time and money would be, the cost would be on that. So I think before we extended it to 4 o'clock or something when we used to have the landfill open. Maybe that's an idea we could look at to extend the time, but still have our fees attached and such. And still call it spring cleanup. But these are the fees attached. Also, you had mentioned in your further garbage collection contract that we could look at maybe having them have a spring roadside or once a year, whatever the case may be, and then it being deferred to the Green Lane landfill in Southwold. So that's an idea as well. Thank you.
I just want to confirm that was like for bulk items for that one-time pickup.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's what I understood. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Great.
Yeah, Councillor Denning.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and through the chair. Certainly, it's a service that people value. It's been around a long time, but also to your point, Dave, you know, does what we're discussing here, what we decide to do, does it align with our long-term strategy with landfill? I think that perhaps what we could consider doing is, instead of having free days, having reduced fee days, so that people still have the incentive to bring items to the landfill. And at the same time, we will be continuing to generate revenue, which is definitely going to be needed when that landfill is closed, to reduce the burden on the taxpayer at that time. That way, you know, there's a fee attached to it. It's a reduced fee, so people will decide if that couch in the garage really needs to go or not. I think that I'm seeing less and less dumping and tipping on the sides of roads, and I think one of the reasons for that is, you know, a lot of places now they have cameras. You know, people have property cameras, and so again, being mindful of the service being available, but also being realistic about the fact that someday this landfill is going to close and it's going to cost hundreds upon thousands of dollars to close it and to babysit it for a generation. We have to, everything that we do now, we have to be generating revenue to put aside into reserves so that 10 years, 20 years, 5 years down the road, the next term of council 30 years down the road isn't going to have to turn to the taxpayers and say, we're going to have to increase taxes in order to manage this landfill. I would like to be doing the work now so that that conversation doesn't have to happen.
Yeah, fair comments. You did mention that there was an option of limit. Well, who's going to oversee that? And the collector, when he thinks somebody's gone over the limit and only takes part of it, what's going to happen with what's left on the side of the road? And it's going to be there forever because they're not going to take it back.
Yeah, that's part of the, because if we would have to do a limit on those days, there would have to be a additional staff on site, because if there's more people out there, there's going to be more people trying to move product into the landfill, and we want to make sure that that's tracked when we're out there. So like there's additional costs to every different option we have, and that's why I want to make sure that we got council is well aware of all these different options that we could do, and then we can provide a cost that's going to like be tied to that, because it's essentially two things. It's landfill capacity and staff time. Those are our two cost centers that are going to be generated, or going to be taking a strain when we do this. So.
Okay, further information from anyone? Yes, Deputy Mayor.
Through the chair, thank you. Also hazardous waste. I went through the rigmarole to get rid of my hazardous waste, unfortunately. Because it was Easter week, I called 3 different numbers, looked on the website, none of the hours matched. From their website to our website to the town city hall. I arrived at 3 o'clock because I was told by 2 different sources, so I took the best 2 out of 3, that they closed at 5 that day. I arrived at 3:05 and was told it was closed. And the gentleman was nice, and I said, I drove all the way from Rodney. I pleaded my case. And they were very nice and took my hazardous waste. But maybe if we put some education out for hazardous waste too, because a lot of people, when they think spring collection, they're getting rid of old aerosol cans, paint cans, whatever the case may be as well. Super easy to get rid of it once you're there, let me tell you. But it was nothing connected. No one seemed to know. I'm gonna guess that their hours changed from winter hours to spring hours, but and people just weren't informed. But yeah, maybe some under spring collection, some education about the hazardous waste and how to get there and their times would be great too. But like I said, once you're there, the process is wonderful.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Anything further? No. I mean, that was a good discussion. And we're going to move to 7, which is adjournment, and move to regular session of council.
That West Elgin Committee of the Whole hereby adjourn and move into regular session of council.
And we're going to call this meeting to order.
No, I need a mover and seconder, please, sir.
Pardon?
I need a mover and seconder, please. To
Oh,
do
for
the-
that, yes, mover. Councillor Sousa, Deputy Mayor Tellier, seconded.
All in favor?
All in favour? Okay. Right, we're going to call this meeting to order at
4:23 PM.
4:20
4:24, sorry.
4:24. And we go to 2, motion to suspend the rules.
Pursuant to section 3.5 of bylaw 2024-05 procedural bylaw, any part or parts of this bylaw may be suspended by a vote with the consent of council members present unless the parts is described by statute of law. The motion is that West Elgin Council hereby suspend the rules of bylaw 2024-05, section 4.2.6.3, allowing an amendment to the agenda after the deadline for the purpose of a secondary closed session item.
Mover, please. Councillor Sousa, seconded. Councillor Denning, all in favour? That's carried. Thank you. Adoption of the agenda.
That West Elgin Council hereby adopts the regular council agenda for April 9th, 2026 as amended.
Mover, please. Deputy Mayor Tellier, seconded. Councillor Denning, all in favour? That's carried. Disclosure of any pecuniary interest or general nature thereof? No disclosures. Adoption of the minutes.
That West Elgin Council hereby adopt the minutes, of March 26, 2026, as presented.
Move, please. Councillor Denning, seconded. Deputy Mayor Tellier, all in favour? That's carried. So that takes us on to, that was the adoption of the minutes. Staff reports. Community services and clerks.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The first report brought to council today is just the pre-budget approval, which is a follow-up from the March Committee of the Whole, which council received the community grant request for 2026 up until May 31st. So this is just requesting the formal approval for pre-budget so that we can contact all the recipients for community grants up until May 31st. Does any members of council have any further questions regarding this report?
No? So I'm going to ask for a mover, please.
I'll read the recommendation.
Oh, yeah, please.
The recommendation is that West Elgin Council hereby receives the report from Terry Toshchuk, Manager of Community Services, Clerk, regarding pre-budget approval request, 2026 community grants, and that council hereby approves all in-kind and in-cash requests for events up until and including May 31st, 2026.
Mover, please. Deputy Mayor Tellier, seconded. Councillor Denning, all in favour? That's carried. 6.1.2 2026 municipal election council composition.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This report is brought to council today as an information regarding the council composition for the 2026 to 2030 term of council. Some background, which was presented, the recommendations that were presented to council on January 23rd, a delegation was received, followed by a motion to have staff prepare a report for council detailing procedures to eliminate the 3-ward system, followed by a report received from the clerk on February 13th, which indicated that removal of the electoral ward system and proceed. And then on May 8th, 2025, the bylaw was passed for an at-large system of electoral representation, removing the ward system within the municipality. Moving forward, so what happens now is it went back to the 1997 amalgamation order, which includes 1 mayor, 1 deputy mayor, and then we now have 3 councillors, which will be elected at large. All positions will be elected at large. Further to that report, it is indicated that in there that the suggestion of council to elect a deputy mayor through the councillor who received the highest number of votes. So in consultation with the legal department, that is not a route that is allowed. The indication in the report indicates that it is a separate position from office of councillor and mayor. And then just to summarize the second point there, that essentially electing a deputy mayor by counting ballots for the office of councillor violates the rights of voters to cast a ballot for the office of deputy mayor. So if council further wishes to move forward with a council composition review, that can be done, but it will not come into term until the next municipal election in 2030. Does any member of council have any questions?
Yes, Councillor Sousa.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. Just how does the council, just for my constituents, how does the councillors election works? Do you vote for top 3
Yes.
or do you vote for 1 or 2?
But you can vote for 1, you can vote for 2. That will be an available option on the ballot. So actually, I just sat in on a webinar this week. And it's a very easy process. The process, when they go on to vote, it will indicate that you can vote up to 3. So if there's 6 people on there running for council, the system will only allow you to vote for 3. There will also, if you only vote for 2, it will come up with a message telling you that you have only voted for 2. So it will allow you to undervote, but it will not allow you to overvote. So yes, if there's 3 counselors, then they would all be acclaimed. If there's 4, the 3 with the highest amount of votes become counselors.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Further questions? Okay. May I have your recommendation, please?
The recommendation is that West Elgin Council hereby receives the report from Terry Toshchuk, Manager of Community Services Clerk, regarding 2026 municipal election, council composition for information purposes only.
Move it, please. Councillor Sousa, seconded. Councillor Denning, all in favour? That's carried. So we'll go to councils, inquiries and announcements.
This is just council opportunity for any formal inquiries or announcements, if any.
Yes, Deputy Mayor Tellier.
So polite of you, Councillor Sousa. Thank you for letting me win. We are still working on, this is in regards to Heritage Homes here in West Lorne. We're still looking to build. We have a name for it, Heritage Terrace, if it becomes a reality. We have blueprint plans, anything. If you see any grants come by or anything going on, we have introduced what I call to Mr. Flack, our Field of Dreams, many times when he's been in town, and this is what we have, and this is our plans. And there's been no funding. I'm sure he's trying to help us and everything as well to get this off the ground. But if anybody has anything, I know that we have, I sit on the Housing Coalition, and I know that we have had an open house this past week as well in St. Thomas. And we really do need the housing for seniors. It is rent geared and 16 units, I want to say, currently right now, with an 8 to 10 year wait list, which is a lot. So it would be great if anybody sees any funding come across when they're out and about or at conferences or anything, to bring it to the attention of the mayor or myself, and we can bring that to the committee. So thanks so much.
Thank you for that. Councillor Sousa, did you have? No? Okay. Okay. That was the announcement. So we go to correspondence.
Council received multiple items from different municipalities, County of Elgin, and watch files. Would any members of council like to discuss any of the items? Seeing none, the recommendation is that West Elgin Council hereby receive and file all correspondence not otherwise dealt with.
Move it, please. Deputy Mayor Tellier, seconded. Councillor Denning, all in favour? That's carried. Thank you. That was items requiring council considerations.
Yeah, there was none
Non-presented.
presented.
Okay. Was you answering that? Councillor Sousa.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to present a motion to defer regarding item 11.1, declaration of authority. I have some concerns through several of my constituents and regarding the lame duck policy. I need a first and second for that, I believe.
Okay, we're not quite to the section 11 yet, so when we do that, we'll discuss that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so that goes with upcoming meetings and schedules.
Upcoming meetings and schedules. So April 15th and May 20th, we have our Recreation Committee. April 23rd, we have a Committee of Adjustment and our regular council. May 13th, we have our Arena Board. May 14th, Committee of the Whole, and May 28th will be our regular council meeting.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we go to 11 now. We come into. Oh, you had something?
Yeah, so within those meetings that we have here at council, are we including budget talks or anything within those meetings, or is that more for June?
Our treasurer will be joining us at the end of April. At that time, we still need to do a bit of a transfer from those who are assisting us to the new treasurer. So we do look probably for a May, June.
Okay, thank you. Just wanted to clarify. Thanks.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, so we go to 11. Bylaws. So this is where, if you want to speak,
Thank you again, Mr. Mayor. Through you, just want to present a motion to defer section item 11.1, delegation of authority regarding the lame duck policy. I've heard from many constituents, they're
Councillor Sousa,
concerned.
if I can just stop you for one moment. So I have Councillor Sousa as a mover. I need a seconder to
for this to go
proceed and
forward.
debate.
Yeah.
Do I have a seconder?
Councillor
Deputy.
Denning, or whatever, yeah. Well, we got everybody, so
Okay, so then we have that is carried. That is the motion to defer. So now you,
put your case.
Through you, Chair. Thank you, Terry. Through you, Mr. Mayor, members, council, CAO and staff. Over the past week, I have given this lame duck policy considerable thought and have heard from many concerned constituents regarding understanding this bylaw and the extent of authority being granted to one individual for an extended period of time. At this time, I would prefer to postpone this decision and bring it back for further discussions. To our staff, with all due respect, you have been a great support to me and provided valuable advice and thoughtful discussion over the past several months. I want you to know that your efforts are appreciated. The reason for my position today is that I am not fully comfortable delegating significant level of authority and responsibility to any single individual. I take great responsibility to represent my constituents with honesty and care. I also feel without a budget in place, it makes considering this bylaw somewhat difficult. I've done a bit of research, and to my knowledge, if a lame duck is passed, and quote, if council has not passed a budget before entering this period, they are governed by section 275 of the Municipal Act, which restricts their ability to manage funds. This is a what if. What if the budget is not completed before this bylaw takes place? I think this opens a very dangerous door. Council, I respectfully request that we consider postponing the implementation of the lame duck policy to a future date. This would allow further discussion and consideration. I would also ask that this bylaw be put the motion to defer and ask council to vote today so that additional time and consideration may be given to this matter. Ultimately, I would like to see a budget before approving this bylaw. Lastly, I would like to apologize to staff and council for bringing this motion forward on very short notice. Thank you.
Want to speak on this? Councillor Denning. Please, Councillor Denning.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and Councillor Sousa, thank you for bringing this concern forward. So I would be comfortable in supporting the idea of deferring this motion if the following questions can't be answered. And my questions are this. Is this a standard operating protocol for municipalities in Ontario? Are we breaking new ground here? Are these scenarios that have never happened before? Are we just doing some housekeeping here that should have been done before? If maybe somebody on staff could speak to that a little bit, I would be more comfortable in moving forward if I knew that this was something that was really just something we should have done a long time ago, but I'm unclear.
Madam Clerk.
certainly, Mr. Mayor, through the chair, I can speak to all of those items. In consultation with legal, the wording was this is as procedural as you can get. In 2022, the lame duck bylaw for West Elgin was passed on April 14th. Currently, Southwold passed theirs March 9th. Elmer's passed theirs January 14th. The municipality I reside in passed theirs 2 days ago. The County of Elgin is preparing to present theirs at next week's meeting. This is a procedure that is in place so that operations can continue to go on should we be in a lame duck. We do not know, we will not know if we are in a lame duck until the end of August on nomination day. It does not come into play in May. It does not come into play in June, July. It is not until not the close of nomination day. So in the bylaw, and I can refer back to my report that I presented at the last meeting, it's on the website, anybody can pull that up. there was a report presented to council that, and in the bylaw, it indicates that lame duck period is only if we are in that restricted, that this will only come into play if we are in the restricted acts between nomination day and the commencement of the council term. The bylaw also indicates that the CAO must prepare a report to council on any actions taken on the restricted act between nomination day and the commencement of council term. Under this bylaw, there is only certain things that the CAO would be authorized to do between that period. Did I answer all of your questions, or was there any that I left out?
It was very detailed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk, and thank you for those clarifications.
Further questions? Councillor Sousa.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, do we know if these other municipalities all have their budgets already completed prior to the lame duck policy?
The correlation between budget and lame duck is that, and it is right in there, that any spending exceeded that is in the budget can move forward. Speaking with the legal team, that was one of my questions, was, does this bylaw, does the budget have to be in place? And he indicated no, there is nothing in legislation that says your budget must be passed prior to. Passing this now so soon is to simply, because it is on a election to-do list, and it is my job, one of my primary jobs as clerk, is to run an effective election. So this is simply just getting this off the list and not leaving anything till the last minute.
If I might,
Yes,
Mr.
please.
Mayor. Budget will be passed by July, so before the August nomination date occurs. And the reason for that is we will have to make sure that the budget is in place so that we can address final tax billings. So is it ideal for our budget to be delayed? It is not. However, we're not in ideal circumstances, of which we have not had a treasurer since July of last year. And so for that, council, we are waiting to make sure we have a treasurer in place. They understand where we are, and then they can at least participate in an understanding of what the budget will look like for the remainder of the year.
Thank you. Further questions? I'm seeing none.
So I need a vote. I have a mover and a seconder. I need a vote on the motion to defer.
On to defer.
Mhm. Councillor Sousa, I'm sorry, did you call for a recorded vote?
I'll call for a recorded vote.
Okay, Councillor Sousa. Motion to defer.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Tellier,
No.
Councillor Denning,
Nope.
and that is defeated. We move along to the bylaw itself.
Okay, so we go to 11, which is bylaws. Bylaw 2026-20, delegation and authority of lame duck.
That bylaw 2026-20 being a bylaw to delegate the authority to the Chief Administrative Officer for certain acts during a lame duck restricted acts period after nomination day until the commencement of the council term be read a first, second, third, and final time.
Mover, please. Deputy Mayor Tellier, seconder. Councillor Denning, all in favour? That's carried. And that brings us to 12, which takes us to a closed session.
That West Elgin Council hereby move into a closed session at 4:44 PM pursuant to the Municipal Act Section 239-2F, advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, planning matters, and Section 239-2B, identifiable individuals, HR matters.
Mover, please. Councillor Sousa, seconded. Deputy Mayor Tellier, all in favour? That's carried. Thank you. A report from closed session.
Reporting from closed session at 5:40 PM. West Elgin Council received two items pursuant to the Municipal Act, Section 239-2, for information purposes. Administrative direction was provided and council was presented with the following motion. I gotta find it. Doing the same thing.
You like me, you got too many people.
Yeah, do you have your closed one? Right there. Thank you. The recommendation is that option A is the preferred option and that West Elgin, Municipality of West Elgin proceeds with appealing the County of Elgin Land Division Committee's decision to approve consent application E 17-26 26212 Carroll Line. And that the appeal will be filed with the Ontario Land Tribunal on or before April 14th, 2026.
Do we move her?
Yes, please.
Can I have a mover for that, please? Deputy Mayor Tellier. Seconder.
So I do need a mover and a seconder. However, you can vote in opposition.
In opposition?
So I don't have a seconder.
No.
Do a vote. If, just as a reminder, if you are seconding it, that does not mean you're voting in favor. That is just putting the motion to the
On
table.
the table.
Yes. And as I mentioned, then you can vote in opposition. Do I have a seconder?
Councillor Sousa.
So you will ask all in favor
All in favour?
and then all opposed. So all in favor, I have Deputy Mayor Tellier and Councillor Sousa. Who are in favor? All opposed?
Is Ryan opposed? Ryan?
My apologies. I missed that motion. I was not present when it was put forward, so
Then you abstain from voting.
I abstain.
And Councillor Denning, you are opposed? So I have two in favor, one opposed. That's carried.
That's carried, thank you. Okay, so we move to 14. Confirming bylaw.
That bylaw 2026-21 being a bylaw to confirm the proceeding of the regular meeting of council held on April 9th, 2026 be read a first, second, third, and final time.
Mover, please. Councillor Denning, seconded. Councillor Sousa, all in favour? That's carried. And that takes us to adjournment.
That the Council of the Municipality of West Elgin hereby adjourn at 5:43 PM to meet again at 4:00 PM on Thursday, April 23rd, 2026, or at the call of the chair.
Mover, please. Deputy Mayor Tellier, seconded. Councillor Sousa, all in favour? That's carried. Thank you very much.